Let's see how it plays out. Now we go back to possibly classic Fortnite. That being said, too, if it's all competitive playlists or maybe just arena, that might be a little bit of a switch up here and there. We'll have to see the loadouts this game to confirm. But just in case you guys missed it, there was an update on Fortnite's status. Regardless, let's keep watching Nate land down beams at Dirty Docks. That will not change with a broomstick or without. Actually wondering, figuring out what was going on in that fight. For anyone here right now who's in that top 70 situation, top 60, as Kelly mentioned during the break, there is a little bit of a chance if they end up having two good games, so getting a good game against people in the top 10 like Lanouf, like Dezinho, Vato, Kinzel, and Savage at first, it's difficult. Even Jamside right now, Podesai is not only looking up with his pump, he's fighting up in standings. And yes, he's dodging shots. Yes, he's staying alive, but it's not enough. And he keeps getting held down.
Yeah, that one was a tough one for Podesai.
Might not be enough when there's a car on the way. Now he's at the gas station, so it's all good. Benji! Oh my god! The quick switch! No way, it's things you can only see really from Benji Pitchy's perspective. My god.
You know, it's moments like that that just, you know, it makes you a fan of Benji. Like, if only I had the stream reaction and whatnot to back it up, right? But that is just outrageous stuff from Benji.
And that was Vato and I dropped back to back at Lazy. One person we haven't seen just yet is Kinzel, who as of this game is in second place and hopefully still alive. We keep watching as more tags are really thrown around. No one's really all-inning as much, but at the same time, I feel like people are being way too passive, way too carefree. Because of this, Vato gets shot down to even less than 100 HP with the shields. Shields get removed again. He has the minis to get all the way up, but he's not really popping them just yet. Down below is where I drops, and then actually Matzo picks up Vato from the back side of the box. I'm not sure what that was. He had the builds, he had the minis and the time, but never actually chose to pop them or play that defensively.
He's gonna try to use his harpoon to really get in here, and he is in. It's just inches away. It's so close. If this harpoon connects, it's gonna leave this player on incredibly low HP. Look at this, the non-stop chaser. It must be so difficult to play against this man.
This is just unfortunate though. He's not wrapping this up, Levin, so Havre is just using all his mats. Look at all that metal. That was at least 300 metal, almost going on 400 now. Exqueeze is losing out so much and not wrapping up this fight fast, but there is the final piece of control.
Wait, Peppers are back?
I think it's Peppers and Candy at the same time. That's in the game.
Okay.
Unless it's a replay issue, but I've seen both used, but not in the same inventory.
I just thought all Peppers were Candy. Pick up just a limb, and he wants to do something in a timely fashion. Adonis able to get away for a second, but I say only a second because you see here, Lechy looking to break his way in. So again, moving away, and Mini might get involved here, right? You know, they're very close to Mini. He might just decide he wants to get involved. Right now, it seems like he's staying away, and Adonis is just like a little rat. He's like a rat on the highway. You can't catch him. You can't even find him. He's absolutely everywhere.
Lechy looks like an experienced exterminator though, right? He's blocking off all his sides. We've seen in EU how that third party really affects someone on the hunt. As easy as an elim can be, you want to make sure you're getting them for free. Lechy right now is getting tagged up a bit. Okay, maybe slightly expensive. This fight so far has cost him two chug splashes. He's still pushing forward for it though. From the low ground now, he looks kind of like the rat. Chasing a mouse in this maze. Adonis has maybe slightly had enough. Moving there maybe for a pump. Nope, still behind the wall. I'm surprised no one's actually picked up a single tag on Adonis. He's been out in the open for so long.
Bro, he's literally like a little rat on the highway. Like, what are you gonna do about him? Maybe Lechy will finally be able to finish it off here, right? Because he's backed up against the wall, but it's just like the third time he's been backed up against the wall, and he's able to get out every time. Finally, Lechy picking that one up. And yeah, we have potential to see it, right? Because obviously in the semis, right, both have an incredible placement, but obviously Savage just edging it. And I think the reason why we didn't see that, you know, storyline have a solidified conclusion is just because you know, a genuine conclusion to that story is you know, iDrop kind of ascending to a new height in which, you know, people start to compare him to Savage. Whereas the reality is that, you know, Savage kind of just continued to excel and you know, move on to bigger and better things as an individual player. And so, you know, it is hard to quote unquote be in someone's shadow. Nate going down now, and you see
Wow.
poor positioning. That's all that is. Poor positioning, and the whole lobby's focused on him. And he gets sprayed out of the server.
And Nate was the one person I was looking at this game to compare to Savage in terms of the choices he was making to go for height, playing low ground efficiently when he needed to take a breath and really stay low key. But in this game, he won't be here, and that's another name that's not going to be able to contest that top 10. He was in 7th, so he's taken out. Kinzel, Savage, and Vato, though, are all here, and Janice, for some reason, I could not predict or expect this. Just 61 total points, around the top 50 mark.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing day for Janice. So I say that he picks up an elimination, but you know, it's weird because the one game where we tuned into him, right? Obviously, he was in a bit of an engagement over towards Sweaty, and you know, we said it was, you know, uncharacteristic of him, right? You know, the way we've been accustomed to him playing, he's just a very methodical player that plays things slow. He doesn't like to take these fights.
But in EU, we've seen kind of that you can have one game. You can have a door open for you one time, and if you get to walk through, if you really capitalize, you can hang with the top dogs again. 3 now for Janice in a span of 1 minute. This might be that game for him, right? Maybe he hasn't had that door open in the last 4 games.
Yeah, and with that elimination comes a large amount of shockwaves, which is going to be incredibly useful, right? If he wants to be in a position where he can actually come out and maybe have a higher placement game than what he's had so far today, right? Max materials, 6 shockwaves, you know, that's the way you're going to do it, right? Using the shockwaves to rotate, having an excess amount of mats available to you later on in those later zones is going to be crucial.
And now let's set up that end game a little bit thinner. 38 people. Last time, things were slightly beefy before they teetered off, but that means that it's even more important to defend your builds. We see Kinzel there, lower HP. X Squeeze is here too, as Janice has the best side of the zone. Jam side picks up Nipsey as a first elim for our end game. And I'm waiting to see when Janice will use these shockwaves.
So you get switched onto the entire zone. You see all the names there. So much going on. The Siptos looking to rotate in. 170 points for him as well. He's had an amazing day so far, but the job's not finished. Moving towards that front side, looking to position himself well. Finally starting to pick up some eliminations on top of that. Looking back, what will he find? Nothing of yet, but Janice on the high ground. This is where we want to see him. Put them shockwaves to use, boy. Janice with 5 shockwave less, raining havoc on the rest of the server. Nobody even looking to contest it right now, it seems like. And this is setting up to be an amazing game for Janice right now.
He has complete control, and he has insurance on top of height. 5 more shockwaves to answer with if anyone wants to go for it. Deceptos and Queasy are in view. It is Weeping Woods, though, and somewhere close beside it, somewhere near that Slurpy Swamp range, that means that trees are in the way. Might be that much harder to take height, but for Janice, that much harder to get eliminations. It's anyone that's really in the air, and he's landing tags. No one's really going down, though. Make the piece picking up 1 elimination, but that was about 15 seconds ago. Everyone is just playing box to box. They're holding on to the last moments of Dreamhack era.
And look at the low ground now. The Deceptos actually winning that. He was down to about almost 10 HP there. He picks up that elimination onto Jam side, and things are looking good. Jan is still raining havoc on height. If you look at the Deceptos on the bottom right of your screen, he's trying to set up to do something of himself. Low ground starting to look hectic. You see X Squeeze knocked all the way out into the zone, and he falls. Benji, Nako, Daisina, Trulek, so many of these names fighting out on the low ground. Thomas down to his last HP now as well. And you see the lobbies thinning out. Janice must be ecstatic up there because it doesn't even seem like a single player's tried to really make his life difficult up here. He's perfectly fine. And like you said, Shyo, the insurance, so many shockwaves left as well. Kinzel finally takes up Thomas HD. And finally Cammy, oh no, not Cammy, Kinzel looking to contest the height. Kinzel and Janice, teammates in their own right. And now they're fighting it out for high ground. Janice using them shockwaves to use. Going all the way back up, he has a massive pump.
No! And Kinzel steals the game away from Janice, possibly stealing the first away from Mr. Savage, as Deceptos moves up to 217 points. No match though. We're tuning back in with low ground. Levin said it was hectic. Alpha picks up Mastor, but after that gets taken out by Deceptos, making it a 1 versus 1. So many things happen to lead up to this for Deceptos. Game after game, he's survived, trying to make a name for himself in this tournament. He's still moving forward, still going on, breaking off towards height. Slowly and surely, it's Kinzel he has to face against, who has unvaulted, basically, the shockwave launcher. He has so many. Deceptos is making it close and personal. Kinzel goes up for height. Deceptos has the beam. It is not enough just yet. Now, the roles reversed. Kinzel down on low ground. Deceptos is the new warden of height, the new warden of this whole zone. It's still not over. It's getting drawn out to the final breath. One more shot, still not enough. Both of them living. Perfect gameplay. A crash pad to bounce Deceptos up, and it's not enough for him to survive. Kinzel, with the huge use of utility, wins the 5th game.
293 points. We've been saying when we look at these top 20 leaderboards that Mr. Savage wasn't too far ahead of the rest of the pack so they could easily overtake him. And Kinzel does just that. And now he has almost a 40-point lead over Mr. Savage.